call this meeting to order. And if I could have an invocation, Ms. Bartley, would you be willing?
Father, we thank you for this time together. We thank you that we will come together in unified efforts to do the will for your people in this community. We ask you, Father, to have us operate from the spirit of love. We call it done now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. At this time, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance if you are able, led by Ms. Bryant.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Kraus and Mr. Hall. Any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Adoption of the minutes from the special council meeting. This is on December the 5th, 2024. I have a motion to adopt those minutes as presented in your packet.
So moved.
Mr. Balknight, do you have a second?
Second.
Mr. Prowse, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4,
Oh, yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Item B is the regular council meeting minutes from December the 9th, 2024. I have a motion to adopt as presented in your packet.
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wise, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4,
Oh, yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. For the mayor's report, our next regular meeting will be February the 10th, 2025. I believe last year it was on the 14th, so everyone will be happy if they get the 14th off. Council committees report, Central Midlands, Councilmember Balknight.
No meeting.
Thank you, sir. EPAC, Councilmember Price.
No meeting in December. Our next scheduled meeting is this Wednesday.
Thank you. Comment Advisory Committee, Councilmember Kane.
No report.
Thank you, sir. And I have no report this week for Joint Municipal Water and Sewer Commission, but I'll bring two next month. Which brings me to the BL Chamber of Commerce update. Mr. Mike Taylor, President of the Batesburg-Leesville Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Mike, welcome.
Thanks, sir. Good evening. As the new year begins, we had our first Economic Development Committee meeting for this year on Thursday the 8th. The committee received reports from the town of Batesburg-Leesville, Lexington County School District 3, Lexington County Economic Development, and Councilman Larry Brigham, and then, of course, the chamber report. Councilman Brigham stated that the council decided to postpone indefinitely the mandatory countywide curbside garbage collection and the $30 vehicle registration road user fee indefinitely. I also felt that the $30 registration fee would have raised something like $8 million. And if you look at the penny for roads, it would raise approximately $55 to $58 million. I think he stated that it costs $520,000 to repave a road per mile, and it costs a little over $1 million for an unpaved road. So that $8 million wouldn't go very far. If you've noticed the land up there on where the West Region Service is going to be located, US 1 and half the streets being cleared. That was nice to see. This will be, I think, the first 4-in-1 facility in Lexington County, which will house the EMS, the Sheriff's Department, the Master's Office, Fire Station. He brought out that signal system improvements have been approved for the intersection of Columbia Avenue and Mitchell Street, Columbia Avenue and Pine Street, Church Street, Main Street, and Church Street, and Lee Street. Gab Dragano, who is the economic director for Lexington County, was there. And he talked a little bit about the industrial park, and I talked to him this morning, and Friday, which I think is the 17th, yes, they'll be sending out a bid, request for bid on the 50,000 square foot pad that would go in on parcel 1. So that will certainly help as far as the selling of that parcel, hopefully. Lexington School District Superintendent, Dr. Ashley Atkinson, reporting on the academic and athletic successes of 2024. Lexington School District 3 will host a new gym celebration this Friday, the 17th. I understand Councilman Larry Brigham's going to exhibit his foul shooting expertise from the years past at that event. The community will also have an opportunity to view at all new renovated facilities at the high school and primary school during open house on Thursday, January 3rd from 5 to 7. Interim Jay Hendricks gave a great report from the town, and it looks very much like the report he's giving in the manager's report. We appreciate him giving that for us. On behalf of the chamber, I thank the local businesses and everything for the successful year we had, and we begin a new year. Batesburg-Leesville Ministerial Alliance, the business community, Teen Challenge, and Starbucks Coffee presented each officer with a $20 gift card for a meal at Shooters Barbecue, pound of Starbucks coffee, a free cup of coffee on Thursday the 8th, which was Lauren Appreciation Day. We certainly appreciate the job they do. We appreciate them at the chamber, how they help with our event. That's our report.
Thank you, Mr. Mike.
Thank you.
Ms. Judy, I think we have one this evening for public comments regarding items on the agenda. Just real quick, any citizen of the municipality may address council at any regular council meeting. Discussion is limited to items on the current agenda. Those who request to speak must sign in with the municipal clerk no later than 10 minutes prior to the beginning of the regular meeting, indicating their name, address, and agenda in which they intend to comment. Each person who gives notice may speak at a designated time and will be limited to a 3-minute presentation at the discretion of the presiding officer. No question shall be entertained, and this is not a forum for debate. Individual council members and the mayor may be directly addressed before or after each meeting. The presiding officer may limit the number of speakers. One speaker may not defer his or her allotted time to another speaker. Please approach and state your name.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Town Council. Before I get started, Jay, would you stand up? Yeah, that's you. I've known this man for 29 years. Him and his family was some of the first people that Barbara and Megan and I got to meet when we moved here. And I watched him grow in his career.
Hey.
Me too. Paid volunteer, full-time firefighter, fire chief, announcing football games, writing letters, stuff in the
Yes.
Twin City. But the work he did after Helene, he proved what his work. Man worked like a soldier, worked his ass off, pardon my French. And I think it's time. He got to put him out in front of his name and make him a town man.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Moving into unfinished business, a second reading for the ordinance to redistrict the town of Batesburg-Leesville. Do I have a motion to approve the second reading?
So moved.
Mr. Proust, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Balknight, any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Mr. Hall?
Downstream on this particular district, our ordinances call for appointees by the council to the zoning and planning board. And although the ordinance specifies so, that has traditionally been done by district. This redistricting will leave, I believe, District 3 and District 8 without representation on those boards. Could we get legal? And we're not entitled to reappoint to those boards until, by ordinance, until 2027. is, how do we re-equalize the planning board?
My understanding on that is that anything can be filled, that if there's a vacancy, it can be filled. So even if someone were to vacate a seat during partially, through their term, it would be filled, brought to, the council member can bring their nominee to council for approval. That's my understanding. David?
That's correct, Mr. Mayor. It would go into effect as soon as this is approved and the maps become official. And that time, if there was a vacancy on the planning commission, then the councilman for that district would appoint a member to fill that seat.
David, what is this
Mr. King?
if this creates a vacancy? Like if somebody is sitting in my district, and all of a sudden they're not in my district, do they still serve on the board, or do I need to reappoint somebody that's in my district?
You would need to reappoint somebody that is in your district.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Again, this is second reading, ordinance to redistrict the town of Batesburg-Leesville, District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Oh, yes.
5,
No.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and mayor votes yes, motion carries. New business, item A, presentation by Lexington County EMS regarding Emergency Service in Action Day, which is February 8th, 2025. Jay, you want to introduce our guest, please?
All right, so joining us this evening is a former Batesburg-Leesville Town Council woman and also the Assistant Chief of Operations for Lexington County EMS, Megan Hall.
Welcome, Megan. Good to see you.
Mayor, Town Council members, I appreciate the time for you. EMS recognizes that too often that people, we ask people to come to us to learn about how to do first aid, CPR, how to get first aid to stop the bleed, to a tourniquet application. What happens when 911, you call 911, and what do you actually do? How do you actually perform CPR? So we started an initiative last year about going out to communities. And we came out to Batesburg, we were at the Midlands Tech campus, and we did not have a lot of success. We learned very quickly that at churches, you have a lot more success because people in the community based around those churches really support the churches. So this year, we are coming back to Batesburg on February 8th to teach CPR, as friends and family CPR, and then BCON, which is stop the bleed, to how do you apply tourniquets, what happens if you're out working in your yard and you cut yourself, how do you stop the bleeding, because the more blood you lose, your life is in danger. And then we also have the police department's gonna be out there to do child ID, check car seats, and then fire department's also gonna be out there talking about CO2 detectors, smoke detectors, to kind of educate the public about those first things that you need to know about how the fire extinguisher works. You'd be surprised most people don't know how to do that. So I have flyers for all of you guys. If you guys want to take one with you, it's a quick scan to just put your name on the list, and then we'll just confirm your attendance. So that's it. Questions?
What did you say, excuse me, what did you say this year's location is going to be?
It's going to be at 513 West Church Street, which is St. John's, right there at Oak Street in Batesburg.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Liz. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. Item B, new business. This is the first reading of an ordinance to rezone property on Cullum Street. And this is, I'm going to pull this up here. Council approval is needed for the first reading of an ordinance which will rezone a portion of property located on Cullum Street consisting of 1.15 acres from Industrial 1, Industrial District, to C2, Office and Institutional Commercial. This is Lexington County TMS number 007-033-01-004. As presented in your packet,
Where is it located?
I have to have, ma'am, before we start discussion, we're gonna see if I can get a motion to approve first reading.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve.
All right. Mr. Proust, a second?
Second.
Mr. Balknight, any discussion, Ms. Mitchell?
Where is this, no, that's okay.
It is,
Where is this property located?
it's on Cullum Street, and I believe this is one street to the southwest of B Street, and on the,
So it's where the old Column lumber was.
It's the
dirt
old
road that
Column
runs off of.
right in front of State Farm or something.
Oh, okay.
about the railroad track, yeah.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Mr. Hall?
Was there any information produced as to what the future use, projected future use of this property would be?
I can tell you in our packet, it does say this in the memorandum, and I'll read this for everyone. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Mr. Hall. The rezoning request comes from the owner, Terry Jeffrey, and asking to rezone the property at the corner of West Road Avenue and Cullum Street. Land is wooded and does not have a numerical address. The parcel was recently purchased with the desire to build a church. Parcel is 1.15 acres. Churches including Sunday school and educational buildings and other places of worship are permitted use in C2 district. And Planning Commission gave unanimous approval. Any other does that answer your question, Mr. Hall, or is there?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second on first reading. District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. That's very good. First reading, item C. First reading of an ordinance to annex property located at 111 West Church Street. And so council approval is needed to annex .72 acres located at 111 West Church Street into the town limits with a zoning classification of C1 and general commercial Lexington County. TMS number is 005900-06-030. Do I have a motion to adopt first reading of that ordinance to annex that property at 111 West Church Street?
So moved.
Mr. Knight, and a second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? This is first reading, yeah. Ms. Hartley?
Do we have any information on what they'd like to do there?
Let's see. The property owner is Dr. R.B. Antley and submitted a petition to annex. So I believe the business is Dr. Antley's business.
Well,
Just bring it into,
if I can offer some clarity.
yeah, if you would,
The
please.
same developer that annexed 107 West Church in last month, their intention is to redevelop that property, but the property owner, Dr. Antley, is doing the rezoning. The sale is pending that. They haven't identified a specific business yet, but it would have a joint driveway with 107 West Church, which they've identified as going to be a Verizon Dunkin' Donuts, so it would be something commercial.
And it is currently a donut hole.
It is a donut hole within the town, and
Pun intended.
and this is the vacant lot between the Tidal Max, the old radio station, and the house going back towards T-Mobile.
Mr.
Any
Mayor,
other discussion? Ms. Brown?
if it was a Krispy Kreme, I'm sure we would all agree.
Yes.
Try not to discriminate against the extra calories. Any other discussion? All right, District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Oh, yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. That brings us to the old Sears building, interior demolition and roof repair at 534 West Church Street. And let me get to something here on this building. It's the old Sears building. And staff is recommending that council approve the bid from Street Construction. The 3 bids presented in the packet. Staff also recommends a 10% contingency be added to the bid price in case unforeseen issues, mold, anything like that is found on the interior. Staff recommends approval of up to $45,069. be approved for the interior demolition and roof replacement of 534 West Church Street with the funds coming from the Hospitality Tax Reserve Fund. This is right there by the Isaac Woodard Unity Park. I have a motion. Do I have any motions?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the staff recommended items in the packet, as you just read off.
Okay, so that would be up to $45,069. And Jay, does that with the contingency in that number, or do we need to add that to that number?
The 45,000 is with the contingency.
Okay.
45,000.
Okay, so a motion by Mr. Prowse for $45,069 from the Hospitality Tax Fund for the roof and demo of the inside. And do I have a second?
Also, I said,
Mr. Wise? Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hall?
Mr. Hendricks, what line item in the H-Tax budget will this appear?
I would assume that would go into the Woodard Unity Park line item, as that is part of that property.
Okay.
At this time, no purpose has been designated for that building, but the intent is to dry the building, make sure we don't have any further damage, and council will have that decision.
It's sometimes when we do not identify the line item that the secondary allocations are approved, it's very difficult to track performance to budget. You would appear to be over budget, in other cases unfairly. So in the future, if you could identify the line item that it will be allocated to, so that we can track the budget, performance to budget.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Any other discussion?
What are they gonna do?
Ms. Mitchell?
What are they gonna do with this building?
This is,
Because I didn't get a packet, so I don't know what's.
right,
going on.
there's nothing to be decided with the building other than to keep it intact, I mean, we're basically voting to keep it intact. We're kind of faced with two choices, keep it intact or, demo it, so, yeah. It's your question. Any other discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Football.
There's a game. Just District 3 was a yes, resounding quickly. District 4?
yes.
5?
Yeah.
6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes, motion carries. Item E is landfill mulching, everyone's favorite thing. So this is approval of a contractor to perform mulching at the limb and leaf landfill. Say that 3 times quickly. Administration recommends the council vote to accept the low bid, 3 bids given to, basically this is to address a 175% increase in things going to the landfill after the hurricane. Administration's recommending that the council vote to accept the low bid from Optera Solutions for the mulching of storm debris at the limb and leaf landfill for $2,500. And this would come out of the landfill maintenance line item of the Public Works budget, which currently has a $1,000 balance. Let me get a motion, so open up discussion. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Hall, second by Ms. Hartley. Any discussion? Jay, would you like to say anything about this one?
I did have a 3-hour meeting with FEMA this morning going over reimbursements and projects, the public assistance from Hurricane Helene. They did express that this will be covered in that along with other items. So we should see a full reimbursement. Time frame coming from the federal government, who knows? The final submittal for us is March 11th, but it should be reimbursed fully. But essentially, our small skid steer, which manages the normal loads, it's just been overworked. They have not been able to maintain with the volume that's there. So David Paget, sought 3 different bids from different companies and has recommended Optera Solutions.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hall?
This is actually moving material around. This is not involved in the chipping operation.
Actually, it's both. They will be grinding, they will be mulching some of that material that is there, but then they will also be grading it and forming it to the DES standards, you know, as a DHEC, now DES. It is a landfill that they will monitor, but it will be graded appropriately by the contractor. But they will be grinding and then spreading the mulch.
We do have an on-site chipper.
We have a skid steer with a mulching head. So it's not a traditional chipper that you feed through, but a skid steer that has an arm that grinds. And it works fine for 100 or so loads a month, but it's just, they have not been able to keep up, so they have a large amount that needs to be done. And the contractor will be bringing a larger unit in to do that job.
I'm not a fan of landfills. I would certainly like to see us consider a better way to dispose of the mulch, make it available to our citizens, chipper, whatever else is necessary to, I understand, possibly upgrade our street department in the ability to handle things like this.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Any other discussion?
Yeah,
Ms. Mitchell?
Jay, you saying that we pay for it and then you get reimbursement. You said maybe, but is there a sure thing that you're gonna get the reimbursement?
Well, I tend to shy away from saying sure things. The gentleman from FEMA that was in today, he said this is absolutely reimbursable expense. So we fully expect to get reimbursed, but we should be reimbursed for this. We'll also be reimbursed for manpower for the trucks used to haul the debris, for the vehicles that were used, for all of the sewer lift station pumping, the fuel reimbursements for the generators, the hours used by the generators. Those are the things we're seeking reimbursement for in addition to this. So we've got a lot of parts and pieces, and this is one of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Ms. Hartlett?
Ms. Hendricks, with this process coming into place, are we 95% cleared with the debris from the storm? Will we need more time?
I think we still have debris that needs to be cleared, and I was speaking with Councilman Hall earlier, and also with our street department director last week. We're trying to work with DOT because a lot of the smaller stuff that we can handle is mixed in with the bigger stuff that they need to handle. So the hope is that we're going to have a meeting with them in the middle of this week, Wednesday or Thursday, to nail down a plan to finish that off. But there are still streets that have debris, and some of that debris has been brought out, you know, since the storm. I think they made that first pass and got that debris in the first month. But as debris comes from the backyards out to the streets, we're still dealing with that.
It looks much better. But
It is much better.
yes, I'm
They're
just
still working.
concerned that we'll be able to meet the time frame with FEMA.
We will certainly meet that time frame on the reimbursement
All
request.
right,
So.
thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hall?
My last one, Mr. Hendricks, again, can you give me a line item, or after the meeting, give me a line item that we'll assign this to?
As noted in the packet, it would come out of the street department or the public works landfill maintenance line item.
Maintenance, okay.
Yeah, landfill maintenance.
Any other discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Mr. Nicholas, yes.
4,
4 yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Comprehensive plan contract with Central Midlands. So council needs to approve the attached scope of work. This is attached inside of our packet, and the cost proposal from the COG, Central Midlands, to begin work on the comprehensive plan. The current comprehensive plan was adopted in 2008 and is outside of the 10-year window. It's spelled out in state law. So Central Midlands is the subject matter expert in our area to lead this planning process, which will include the town council and the planning commission working together. And the administration recommends the council vote to accept the scope of work. It's presented, there are 10 items there. I'll let everyone else kind of, if anybody wants to read that. The scope of work, cost proposal from Central Midlands to begin work on the comprehensive plan. 50% of the funds will come from the general fund, with the other half coming from the enterprise fund. In year one, $5,000 would come from each fund's reserve funds. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion for anyone on this comprehensive plan and the funding of it?
So moved.
As presented in the packet, Mr. Bucknight.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. A motion. And a second by Mr. Prowse. Any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes, three votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5,
Yes, I guess.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Item G is our, oh, sorry, F. I'm missing, oh, sorry. I missed, no, it is G, right? Yeah, G, okay. Discussion of council pay. And this was put on by council, a vote of council. Motion made by Ms. Mitchell. And Ms. Mitchell, do you have any type of a motion that you would like to make on this? Or would you like to just, it's not a work session, it's a business meeting. So if there's, do you want to make a statement or do you have a motion you would like to make?
I like to do both.
Okay, you want to make the motion and then I'll give you the floor a second.
I would like to make the motion that council pay be raised back to what it was.
And what would that be, Ms. Mitchell?
The 4.
Ma'am,
The 4.
P4 or 4?
4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
$400 a month?
You know what it was, yeah.
Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Mitchell to raise council pay to $400 a month. Do I have a second?
Mr. Mayor?
Ms. Brown, I'm waiting for a second before we have discussion. Seeing there are no seconds, the motion dies on the floor. And that brings us to the manager's report. Mr. Hendricks, approach the bench. Thank you, sir.
It is on. All right, well, good evening and Happy New Year. The light is on, but nobody's home. I can be loud. All right, so good evening and Happy New Year to you. Just a few reminders. Town holidays coming up. We do have Martin Luther King Jr. holiday next Monday, so town offices are closed. We are working on a few events for the spring. We've got March 29th marked for Spring Clean B&L. Keep the Midlands Beautiful is lined up for the free paper shredding event for residents. We will again be engaging local churches and civic groups for a big day of cleaning. As usual, we'll have some beautification projects at the parks as well as roadside litter pickups. Hold on. All right, I will talk fast. All right, and then we are also anticipating April 16th, which is the Wednesday prior to Easter, for our annual Easter egg hunt. We haven't locked that in, but that is the date to be the Wednesday before Easter. Some project updates. We've got a lot going on. The water connection with Joint Municipal is really making progress. All the pipe for Batesburg-Leesville phase 1 is in the ground, and they are currently pressure testing the line as we speak. Joint Municipal's water tank is again slated for a completion next summer, and their line is being laid coming from the Lexington end. And that line should be completed certainly by the fall. We also have phase 2, which goes from the water tank site to our system 2. That pipe was delivered last week, so that project has begun as well. I don't know if they've actually started digging yet. but that is pipes on the ground. With redistricting now complete, I'll be reaching out to the Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Office tomorrow to finalize this. I'll be working with David on that. High Street Corner parking lot is progressing slowly. They're still working on demolition. They did get the asbestos abatement done since last meeting. So prior to the work session on January 27th, Central Midlands will give an overview of the climate pollution reduction grant. This is the solar grant that's going to go at the wastewater plant. Since Gregory Sprouse is already going to be here, he's going to bring Jory with him, and they'll give you a quick overview. Take two, much better. So they'll give an overview of that. The plan is for Central Midlands to have a sub-recipient agreement for you to consider on the January agenda. So they are the recipient and we are the sub-recipient. But that'll be January 27th. We are still awaiting word from the program manager for the Highway Administration about the sub-recipient agreement on Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. When they said 6 months, I thought they were just, but they are obviously correct. When they say 6 months, it's going to be a while. So we're just in a waiting pattern. Seafront Sidewalk project is nearly complete. They had intended to pour last week, but the weather, the cold, the wet was not good. They are now planning to pour that tomorrow. We also had an RFQ for architects to submit qualifications for an assessment plan of Haynes Auditorium. I was blown away. We had 13 firms submit proposals. The goal is just to create a plan that serves as a roadmap to the restoration of the historic theater over the next few years. The first step is that assessment. There is money in that, but we'll tackle that in February or March. Then I'll also be reaching out to the contractor that was just selected for 534 West Church Street. It's the same contractor that we're working on with the sidewalk project, so he was able to get a very competitive bid because he's already mobilized and he intends to jump on that quickly. The ladder truck that was approved last month is currently at the Batesburg Fire Station. The truck has been placed on insurance and made sure that was done before it went on the road. And the batteries have been replaced, the tires have been replaced. The next step is for it to go to the shop for those other repairs. And then staff will be training on that in the spring. We have an RFQ that is due January 23rd. This is for the GIS work on the valve study, the valve survey of the water system. This is the CDBG grant that's going to fund most of that project, hopefully all of it, but we'll find out how much we're looking at. The goal is to have this for council in February also. I did meet with Land Plan Group last week, and they have finalized the plans for the restroom facilities at both parks. We've been working on that for 6 months. They are awaiting the final permit, but the plan is to post the RFP next Monday with the deadline of late February, so that can be on the March council agenda. And that'll be in the packet when it gets posted. And as we prepare for the budget process, one of the big things is salaries. We've had that conversation formally, informally. So Chief Amick has spoken with several area agencies about a comp and class survey, and he has an RFQ ready to be posted. The goal is for the RFQ that will have a comprehensive study of all town salaries and how they compare with others in the region. So the goal is to have that posted soon and have that for council to review in February, hopefully. And just some of those balances to review end of the year. January 1st balance, general fund checking, $264,561. The LGIP, $1,048,240.26. Utility checking is at $477,889. The LGIP utility, $3,643,708.71. Victims assistance, $15,620.37. The fire department 1% account, $28,271.14. Police donations, $14,419.09. Capital improvement project impact fees, $676,814.31. The municipal court account, $40,332.96. The H-tax account, $300,400.41. And then the LGIP for H-tax is $1,521,492.87. Does anybody have any questions about anything I went over or anything I didn't go over?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hall?
C funds for sidewalks. Mitchell Street, right at the traffic, there is a section of the sidewalk that has
Yeah, the section that was damaged by the storm, that was a target that we were hoping to get with this, because that was damaged in the hurricane. The bid was put out before that, but we'll have to look at that tomorrow. Has that all been cleared now?
No.
Okay, I didn't think it had the last time.
Actually, the sidewalk's still standing up
It's
in
still
the air.
blown up, yeah. Without us going on private property to move the tree, DOT might can do that, but we don't have the resources. The hope was to do that section, but we're gonna have to rely on DOT. And it's a DOT sidewalk, so they would repair it. But we did expand the scope. The primary roads were Main Street, College Street, Wilson Street, West Columbia Avenue, with a curb repair on South Peachtree Street. We've added some sections on South Pine Street, Line Street, and Summerlin Avenue right near the 5 Points. And there were several others that were added in with that project because we had extra funds.
Anyone else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item is executive session. We have 2 items this evening in executive session. One is a personnel item with the town concerning town manager, and the second is a legal briefing for the property transfer and lease agreement ordinance with Eau Claire Cooperative Health. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, I have a second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3? 4?
Yes.
5? 6? 7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. We are in executive session. Thank you. At this time, I would entertain a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
I have a first by Ms. Hartley and a second by Mr. Prowse. Any discussion? It's District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. We're taking no action on the Eau Claire Cooperative Health at this time. I would ask for a motion on personnel. Are there any motions on the personnel town manager?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Kane?
I move that we offer this position to Jay, and that we have the attorney to enter into negotiations with Jay per the conditions that we spoke of in the executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. I have a motion by Mr. Kane. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall.
Yes.
All right, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3, 4,
4 yes.
5,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
I'm sorry, I'm considering a bit into some of the chocolate Mr. Hendricks provided. Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Possible, let's see, potential agenda items for next month's meeting. Do I have any motions? Seeing there are none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Prowse, and a second by Mr. Hall. Without objection, we are adjourned.